Hello, 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 you guys. Welcome, welcome. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, y'all. We are on here live. Let's talk with Meltoria Woodside. Y'all, that's me, if y'all didn't know. Hey, hey, hey. Thank y'all for joining me today. Welcome, welcome. Hey, y'all, I see you guys joining on here very quickly. Yay. Shout out to y'all who are excited about this hour, this conversation, this show. Y'all, thank y'all for joining me today. Hey, y'all, Texas is already joining. Hey, Texas. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know where you guys are coming from so that I can shout you out. Oklahoma is in the house. Hey, Oklahoma. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Hey, y'all. I know we a little bit late today, but better late than never, right? Hi. Charlotte is in the house. Hey, Charlotte. Thank you for joining me today. UK is in the house. Hey, UK. Thank you for joining us today. God bless you. Let me know where you guys are joining me from so that I can shout you out. Shout out to all the wives. Did we miss Mother's Day? Did we miss Mother's Day? Well, I don't know if I told y'all Happy Mother's Day. For those of you who are mothers out there, natural mothers, and some of you guys are spiritual mothers. I'm late, but I'm feeling this. Okay, Happy Mother's Day. I hope you guys enjoyed the day. Welcome, welcome. Trinidad is in the house. Hey, Trinidad. Trinidad is in the building. Okay. Welcome, y'all. Hey, y'all. So we have a topic today that I want to talk about. It's not good for a man to be alone. Okay. It's no, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea, okay? And this isn't something that I came up with, y'all. This is what the scripture said. The scripture said it's not good for a man to be alone. So we're gonna discuss this, y'all. Memphis is in the house. Hey, Memphis, thank you for joining today. I know some people say, Meltoria, I'm at work. I can't. I'm listening, but I can't really say anything. I see you. Thank you for joining me today. Belize is in the house. Hey, Belize. Thank you for joining me today. Y'all, we missed yesterday, but even so, we missed yesterday. There were so much things going on in my mind. Let me tell y'all something before we get into the topic. I was in Vegas. Yay, Vegas. Vegas owes me nothing. I had a grand time. I didn't want to go. Okay. I did not want to go because it was not my thing, right? It's not my thing. It's, my husband's thing. And then, I got my boys have school now. My boys in small. Okay, I got a 9-year old and I got two 17-year olds, right? But I wanted to stay home and babysit them. So my husband was like, no, 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 you're coming with me. And of course, I yield because I'm a supporter, right? It wasn't hot in Vegas. It was hot in Vegas, okay? Vegas is a different type of weather, y'all. And let me tell y'all something. I know somebody from Vegas joins the broadcast. Listen to Vegas. Y'all need to get some classy colors cosmetics lip gloss, because thank you for my classy colors lip gloss. I was able to survive. My lips were able to survive Las Vegas. Okay, it kept moist. Kept it covered. It kept it protected. Thank you, Classy Colors. That's KLASSYKOLORS.com for those of you who want to support. Okay. So let me tell y'all something. Vegas was good, y'all. Vegas was good. I was glad I went. I was glad I went, even though I didn't want to go. But I was really supporting my husband, right? I was supporting my husband. My husband plays poker. He loves poker, and he won a seat to an event out there. And so I'm always excited for him. He loves it, and I was excited for him. And let me tell y'all something. I was excited to be there because I don't know. I know some of you are new, but last year I was dealing with a health challenge, and I had medical. I was trying to raise monies for my medical fund, and the community that my husband is a part of, like, they really, really support me, my medical fund. Like, they came through, surprisingly, shockingly, and I met a lot of them at this event, and everybody was so happy to see me, and I was happy that they were happy to see me. Okay, I didn't feel out of place, but I was definitely a supportive wife. Okay, and so yeah, so to God be the glory for that. Now let's get into this topic. It's tied into my Vegas trip because I was thinking about it on my way from there. It is not good for a man to be alone. Okay, it's a bad thing, y'all. It's a bad thing. Now, let me say this. For some of you who, you and your husband are not together at the moment, you're fighting for your marriage. Don't be like, well, Mazaria, what I could do because my husband ain't here. You're going to take this information, you're going to take this knowledge, right? You're going to glean wisdom from what we're talking about. And when the time is right, you will execute what you have learned. Does it make sense? Now, remember, y'all, this is Let's Talk, not I Talk. Let's Talk, okay? So that's me talking to y'all responding to me. Y'all ask questions, and I'm going to give some answers, okay? So we're going to dialogue today, all right? We're going to dialogue today. So let me tell y'all something. It's not good for a man to be alone, the scripture says. And when God saw that it was not good for a man to be alone, what did he do? What was the solution to this problem of a man being alone? The Lord gave him a help meet, okay, or a helper, whatever, some translations say a helper, some translations say a help me, right? But what exactly is that? What is a help me? What is my role and my responsibility as a helper, as a help me? I think one of the important things that people miss about the meaning of helper, right? We get the help part, we get the assist part, we get the be there part, but I think one part that we miss out is a companion, right? Companion. So yes, a helper is one that helps, meet the needs of another person, but a helper is also a companion. And I think because we miss this, the enemy has, did a great job in coming in and wrecking homes because we don't really have an understanding of our role and our responsibility as a helper or helpmate, right? So companionship is very important in a relationship, right? Companionship. Now, let me tell you something. I don't know, right? In the midst of me being in Las Vegas, supporting my husband, somebody still, right, find me and we still got to talking about marriage. I told my husband it's so crazy. Like I could be doing absolutely nothing related, and someone is going to find their way to for us to have a conversation about marriage. Okay, and guess where the conversation went? Deep into marital troubles. Okay. And I'm like, oh Lord, really? So this person we were talking about, marital issues and whatnot. But one thing that I was starting to reflect on as I was talking to this person is how not you let me see if y'all could relate to this, right? Okay, so when we, get together with our husbands, before we get married, we're always around each other, going here and going there and going everywhere with each other. Is that right? Right? It was me and my husband. We were everywhere. Anybody could say, Nataria, you telling the truth. Before me and my husband got married, we were everywhere together. Him coming by you going by him, y'all hanging out, y'all going. If y'all wasn't saved like I was, we was up in the club, we was up to concerts, we were everywhere. Anybody else? And before y'all get married, y'all were everywhere together, like two peas in a pot, right? Like white on rice. Or is it me? Y'all let me know now. Let me know if I telling the truth. Cause see, I don't want continual conversation with ain't making no sense to nobody, right? But before y'all got married, y'all were everywhere, right? Someone say yes. Yes. Come on now, right? And me too, okay? And what happened? When you get married, come on now. I see y'all coming in. Thank y'all for joining. Let me know where you're coming from. We talking about it's not good for a man to be alone, right? And the question I'm asking is, before y'all got married, didn't y'all used to be together all the time? Yup, everywhere, always on the phone with each other. See, this is the whole truth right here. Always on the phone with each other, right? We had so much to talk about all the time. Anytime we get on the phone, we had so much to talk about, right? But here is what happens now. We get married, right? We join in holy matrimony. We start living together. We start to live together, and then the strangest thing happens, y'all. We start to grow apart. Craziest thing, isn't that? We did so good while we were dating, hanging out, always around each other, going everywhere all the time. Let me tell you something. Me and my husband, we were young when we started dating. So, we were in the backyard, always, when I got to walk to the store, I'm letting them know, hey, I got to go walk to the store. Could you come with me? Or, if he got to go somewhere, hey, I go, and could you come? So we were always together. I mean, when we got married, that over the years that started to die down. Okay, we have to put on our suit. Okay, so yeah, someone said we have to put on our suit. Okay, so yeah, so now we start to grow apart. Now here is the thing, y'all. We get trapped in a circle of events, right? Naturally, where you're working, your husband is working, he go where he goes, 9 to 5, or whatever the situation is. You go where you're going, 9 to 5, and then you come home and you tired from work, your husband tired from work, lounge, maybe lounge and sit down and watch TV, or you might get to working in the house, or he may get working to whatever he's doing in the home, or whatever the case may be. And there's never now this companionship of what we're doing together, right? Because we don't give all to the job and everything outside of the job. We don't give all our strength to outside of the job. And then when we come into the home, then we ain't got no juice left for the relationship. Come on now. Am I making sense? And what happened is this starts a cycle. So this happens now Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sometimes Sundays, sometimes Saturdays, sometimes Sunday. So we're captured in this cycle of you here and I there. And when we come in the home, I got this to do and you got that to do. And we only meet up in the bedroom. Come on now, right? So this is a cycle that has been created, and sometimes it's it's natural, it's legitimate, right? But here is the thing. This is exactly where the enemy comes in. This is exactly where the enemy comes in. And what happened? You tired, so you send your husband to the store, or your husband tired, you go to the store. You need him to go somewhere, and he needs you to go somewhere, right? And so you're just staying on these separate paths, right? And you find that you're living together, but you're alone. You're living together, but you're alone. Listen here. This is where problems come in. You're tracking me. You're tracking me at this moment. This what seems to be a natural occurrence of events is where trouble comes in, because now we're missing that companionship element of the helpmeet part of us, right? And this is what a man needs, right? This is what the husband needs, companionship. And when the Bible says it's not good that a man be alone, this isn't only saying that it's an issue for a man, but it's an issue for a woman too. It's an issue for a woman too. And so we find ourselves in this cycle of being apart. We never ever think or imagine of, okay, we need to spend more time together, or y'all, some people figure out at a very, very late time, oh, we ain't been spending no time together. Let me tell y'all something. For those of you who are probably, you're a new wife, you're just starting, your marriage off, let me tell you something. You and your husband got to make time for each other. You at all times. Listen here. When you go to the grocery store, let's go. Okay. When your husband taking the car to the mechanic, let's go. All right. You need to go. Well, the beauties. I know some of y'all be sitting up in the beauty store all the time. But listen here. When he's able, let's go. When he go to the barber shop, let's go. So what is this going to do? This is going to now not give room to this enemy. You gonna take out, the power that the enemy may have. Not, he don't always have it. He may have. I ain't got no room to come in, because why? Y'all always together. That's how y'all get married. That's how y'all built a foundation to ultimately lead to holy matrimony, because y'all were always together. And I was thinking about this, y'all, because, I remember my husband telling me, because like he always wanted me to go to everywhere. I mean, like the smallest step, baby, come go with me. I told you all this before, even to the mailbox. I could have seen the mailbox. I could have stood at the door and see my husband go to the mailbox, but he still wanted me to go with him, right? But he said, honey, you have to excuse me. I apologize for wanting you everywhere with me. He said, for some reason, when I was cheating, I didn't want you with me, but now to be in such a good place, I just always want you by my side. I always want you by my side. And I believe that this is where this is something that will keep a marriage together. And this is something that even it's tearing like ministers apart, right? You have people like minister in the gospel and they start traveling now. So the wife stay home, right? The wife stay home, and while the pastor traveling all over the place, right? Listen here. Oh my goodness. You guys, if your husband is a pastor, a prophet, an apostle, whatever the case may be, and he's traveling, listen here, make sure they always send ticket for two. Okay? Make sure that they always send a ticket for two. Are y'all hearing me out there? Listen here, I know I on late today. I know I on late today, but guess what? We better late than never. We're gonna have this conversation today. If you are a pastor, if you are a minister, your husband is a minister, you're a pastor, whatever the case may be, he's on the road. You make sure that you on the road too. Okay. Now here is the case. I'm not saying my life is not, like the gospel or anything, but I've learned over the years, and even in cases, in situations where I'm not interested in something, I'm still showing up because my husband is there. Like, this past weekend, he was they had like a meet and greet one day, and I was like, you go meet and greet, I right here, I to the hotel room sleeping, and listening, he gone out 5 minutes, and 5 minutes and he was back. I was like, what happened? You back so quick, so early. I thought it's gonna be like the rest of the night. Okay? Because why? He come for his he come for his gal, right? He come to, "Well, honey, I want you to come with me. And let me tell you something. I said, that while he was playing poker, I was gonna be at the hotel room because I ain't staying, around this place, this long time. But let me tell you something, they had like a waiting room, and I sat in the waiting room, okay? So in between like breaks, my husband would come running in there. Now he passed all of his poker buddies, right? He passed all of them, and what he did, he come and he run to the break room to say, hey, this is what happened. That is what happened, right? Come on now. Someone say the gym, work events, your presence should be an automatic. Automatic, that's right. But guess what? We have to create a culture for this. Okay? We have to create a culture for this, y'all. We gotta be okay with being places that our husbands want to be and we don't want to be. Okay? And it's going to be reciprocated. I assure you, it's going to be reciprocated. If you be places where your husband does not want to be, I assure you, when you're places and your husband does not want to be, he is going to be there. How do I know? Because the Bible said, whatsoever a man sow, that shall he reap. So I'm believing that if I'm sowing support, I'm going to get support back. It's true. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. My husband support me in every crazy thing that I do. Okay? Every crazy thing that I do. But I support him in every crazy thing that he do. And let me tell you why I say crazy, because some of the things my husband does, I don't agree with. Okay? I don't agree with everything. Like, you probably shouldn't do that. But I support him anyway. I don't know why, but I support him anyway. Let me give you all this prime example, okay? So 20, let me see, this was about 2017, 2018, I believe, right? My husband had this bright idea, okay? This bright idea that he wanted to get these like virtual reality machines and put them in the mall. Now, mind you, the mall where we were, this was very unfamiliar with it. As a matter of fact, we were out, with the kids, and we saw this in another mall, and my husband was like, oh, I could do this in our mall. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, people ain't used to this. They don't know what this is where we are. I don't know if it's a good idea. And my husband thought it was a bright and brilliant idea, and I did not agree. As a matter of fact, when he was looking up, everything that he needed to do to get it started, the town planning, they wasn't familiar with this, and I'm like, it was a bad idea. But my husband pursued it, and I supported him because why? I'm not judge and jury on what gonna bless your hands or not, but I do pray that everything that you put your hands to shall prosper. I want to tell your wives out there, you can't worry and you can't worry and pray. Okay? And if you pray, you gotta believe. You gotta believe, if you prayed according to the word, that if you praying, everything your husband put his hands to shall prosper. You gotta believe that everything he put his hands to shall prosper. Anyhow, so yeah, he had this bright idea, and let me tell you something, it was kind of a little pricey, y'all. Long story short, he did it, set it up, and put it in the mall. And even though it was a new thing to the area, let me tell you something, it was successful. It was booming, like COVID. I still mad at COVID, right? But it was successful, and I didn't agree with him doing it. Why? Because I didn't have the vision to see where he was going and what he was doing. But because I was supporting him anyway, I shut down his dreams. Okay? Listen here, y'all wives. Y'all gotta stop shutting down your husband's dreams. I think that's another topic for another day. Right? Don't shut down your husband's dreams, because listen here, you don't know what it will be that will bless you. All right. So now let me tell you all, guys. So it's not good for a man to be alone. He needs you. He needs you to help him. He needs your companionship. He needs your presence. He needs your motivation. He needs your encouragement. You know what I'm saying? So here it is now. And we see this in Ecclesiastes 4, right? Ecclesiastes 4 9. 4, chapter 4, verse 9 to 12. It says this: two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity, it says, pity anyone that falls and does not have someone to help them, right? And has no one to help them up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Although one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of three strands is not quickly broken. Now, let me say this again, y'all, because I know some of y'all go, no, Taria, but I support my husband, but he ain't want nothing to do with me. Listen, the information, the wisdom that you're getting here, you take it in, right? You put it, put it in your, it's head knowledge. I'm giving you head knowledge. You keep on pondering on this and meditating this. And when the opportunity comes, you remember this information. Okay, am I making sense today? You gonna remember when your husband say, I want to go, to the track, or I want to go, take a war. Before you say no, I feel like going. Listen here, get your shoes on, get your slippers on, put on your slacks, put on your hat, and hit the road. Okay, there were a lot of times my husband like, oh, I want you to go with me, and I'm like, really, dude? I don't want to go. But I said, you know what? If he walking with anyone, he gonna be walking with me. Okay. If he's going to an event with anyone, he's gonna go in with me, right? Yes, good one. Supportive. Give wives. Good. God gives the vision to the head. Submit to the vision. God will do the rest. Teach us, woman of God. Amen. Listen here. There's another thing. Let me tell y'all something. No matter what you think, believe, God is a God of order, right? And his order is not going to change for us. His order is not going to change because you think that your husband ain't wise, like he ain't no sense and he can't do this and he ain't godly and all this stuff like that. Listen here. Like I said in my last video on Monday, there is no gray area in God. In between is either black or white. That's why he say, I would rather that you be hot or cold, right? Because if you're lukewarm, if you're in between, I don't know if you're hot, I don't know if you're cold, I'm gonna spit you out. True story, y'all. True story. So, moving and relocating here to America was difficult, and so I remember just praying and asking the Lord to, help me to, help my family financially, give me a job, give me an opportunity, yada, yada, yada. And I was just praying so hard for myself, right? But I heard the Holy Spirit loud and clear, right? Now, when I say loud and clear, it was like it was like I knew that he was speaking to me. Like this idea just popped in my mind, in my heart. And the idea was stop praying for yourself and pray for your husband because I am a God of order. Right. So I thought about that. Okay, Christ is the head, then the husband, and then the wife. So, okay, God is God of order. So, okay, instead of me praying for an opportunity for the Lord to open a door for me to be able to take care of my family, okay, if I pray for my husband, then probably my husband's going. So this is my thought, my train of thought. But let me tell you something. I started to pray. And ask the Lord to open up doors of opportunity for my husband, that he would be in a position to care for his family financially, everything that we need, yada, yada, yada. And I prayed this, and let me tell y'all something. A door of opportunity was open for my husband. Okay, it was open for my husband. To God be the glory. It was able to sustain us for many, many years. I'm so thankful for that. And some of you may be in that position right now. You and your husband are together. Things are a little bit tough. Things are a little bit tight. Pray and ask the Lord to give your husband wisdom, and or ideas and how to bring in income, or financially be a blessing to you and your family. We gotta think about the order of prayer, right? Hey, you guys, thank you all for joining. I see you guys coming on in. So we're talking today. It is not good for a man to be alone. All right, it's not good when we are separated. When we're trapped in a cycle of, especially your husband going one way, you going the next way, and you never have that time for each other. This is where the enemy comes in, right? So I met this lady, y'all, in Las Vegas, right? And I tell you all, like, somehow we got talking about marital issues. I didn't initiate the conversation, just in case some of y'all thought, okay? This individual began to tell me about, the problems that they had in their marriage. I'm like, is it written on my forehead or something? Like, I'm listening to her, and she just, this is the first time we've ever met. Okay, her husband plays poker with my husband, but I've never met her. Okay, so she started going in, and we start talking, and I'm talking, and she's talking to me, and I'm talking to the Lord, like, Lord, how is it that this woman don't know me from a can of paint, and she's opening up to me about marital issues that they had? I said, anyhow, let me listen attentively, right? So I began to listen to her. And one thing that as I was listening to her, I detected that they got together young. So this ain't no, crackerjack relationship. They were together for a long time. They were teenagers, right? And so I was like, gee, is this something? But I should begin to tell me. I said, what happened? Well, what do y'all do in this case? And what do y'all do in this situation? They were so far apart, right? And then it's like, okay, we have the kids. We don't have nobody to look after the kids, so we don't have time for each other. Let me tell y'all something. You cannot look at your deficits and things that you don't have and begin to complain about the situation, right? If you have 3 kids, let me tell y'all something. You all hearing me? If you get 3 kids and you don't got no babysitter, right? And you and your husband need time. Listen here, y'all go to family friendly places. Okay, y'all go to like the zoos. Take the children to the zoo. But while they playing, you cuddling with your husband. Come on now, you gotta be creative. You can't be complaining what you do and do not have. You see what I'm saying? Listen here, let me tell you something. Living here in California, it saved my marriage, right? It saved my marriage. To God be the glory. I didn't want to come here. I actually cried on the way here, but it saved my marriage, right? And so because we didn't have, my husband didn't have friends, I didn't have friends, we learned how to be each other's friend, okay? We didn't have babysitters, let somebody keep the babies and we go out and have it. No, had like we had McDonald's on the dollar menu family date. Now, see, this is a different level of financial difficulties that we were on, right? But instead of complaining that, oh, we don't have money to do this and we don't have money to do that, we all packed up. It was just the 4 of us at the time, and we went and had, dollar menu burgers. But we were together. We had a good time. This is what I told the lady in Vegas. I said, let me tell you something. If you have lemons, you don't complain about the lemons, right? You don't complain, that you don't have another drink. You just simply make lemonade and you enjoy it, right? And she was like, you could tell she was like pondering on what I was saying, and thinking on what I was saying. And I began to tell her, I said, let me tell you something. There were times when my husband and I, we wanted to do, some couple things, but we had the little kids, so we couldn't, do nothing intimate. Guess what we did? We ordered Red Lobster, right? And we dined in our bedroom. At that time, I done cook for the kids. I cooked for the kids. I made a meal for them. Let me tell you something. I made a meal for the kids. All right. And my husband and I, guess what we did? We ordered Red Lobster, and we had all the Red Lobster complete the Red Lobster containers on the floor, and we just sit down and we enjoyed our intimate Red Lobster in the house, because why? We didn't have a babysitter, right? Y'all ever heard listen, someone say put the kids to bed. Child, I didn't even put the kids to bed. I just make sure they eat, and they was out where they was doing whatever it was. And my husband and I, we were in our room, fine dining. Fine dining in the bedroom, okay? And it was so interesting. We just laughed. We had our two meals, right? In the Red Lobster container, okay? We had our it was this shrimp thing that I like to get from Red Lobster. It was what you call it? The hors d'oeuvres, okay? And then we had our drink right there spread off on the floor. And we talk, right? We talk about whatever we was talking about. I don't know what we was talking about. Okay, this is years ago. But we talk about whatever we was talking about. We laughed, okay? Making the best of what you have. Now, listen here. Y'all might be lucky and have like a back porch, right? You might have a back porch. If in the Caribbean islands, like where you're from, and the mosquitoes, don't do it on your back porch. Don't do it on the back porch. Stick to the room. Don't do it in the kitchen on the table. Don't do it in the kitchen and table. Them kids, can I have some? And me, I have a problem. I can't eat in front of my kids. I can't tell them no. So let one of them come tell me they want some. They're gonna eat. No, we were in our bedroom. When someone come knocking on the door, you know how you don't want your kids see something, right? We answer them, crack the door open, and just peek our head on what you want. Okay? Let me tell y'all something. It is not good for a man to be alone. We cannot leave any room for the enemy. And the way that we can do that is being, not just cooking the meals and serving the meals, not just like helping him as in as a help me, but we got to be a companion. We got to be present, right? We got to be involved. Many of you, because you have an interest, your husband have an interest, there is no coming together and having, talking to each other about your interests are, because nobody is getting to know or getting to understand each other's interests. Let me tell you something. When my husband was in the poker tournament, he was able to come to me and talk about everything that was going on, and I understood. Okay, because why? For one, I pay attention to whatever my husband is doing. Now, granted, no, to God be the glory, my husband took the liberty to teach me, how to play poker. He loves poker, so he wanted me to learn, so I learned how to play poker as well, so we can have this dialogue about this, what he loved. Was it my idea? Was it my idea to be interested? No, I wasn't interested in it. It was a love of my husband's. So because he loved it, I grow to love it too. It's like basketball. Listen here. My husband don't watch basketball as much as he used to. But when he did, right? And I still don't really get it, but I get the gist of it, right? But when he sat down and watched basketball, I'm asking him, "Oh, what just happened? Explain it to me." When he started making it, "Oh, that's a foul. What is a foul? What is this? What is that?" It's stuff that you don't know. Ask questions so that when he have an issue, you know, and he want to talk, now this opens up another realm for conversation and dialogue, because you're getting interested in things. I remember, I started this hairline, and my husband had absolutely no idea about that, but I talked to him about it, right? So he was able to understand things that I was talking about, right? What? I'm the one trying to spend time, but he doesn't want to, or says yes, but doesn't show up. I love spending time with my husband, but he is not on the same page. I understand, okay? Because see, when you have not created a culture for this, right? Then when you when you want to, it may be a problem, right? You may be a problem. So sometimes you got to go where he's at, right? Where is he at? Are you in a position to, if he is sitting in the front room and watching football, pull up, pull up on the side of the football, have a spread, and pull up where he's at. Because now here's the thing now, because see, I know how some of y'all go, uh, but shouldn't it be two-way? Listen here, we arguing about right and wrong. You the one want to spend time. Your husband don't want to spend time. So because you the one want to spend time, you gotta find creative ways to fix the spending time. Okay? Because I know how y'all go. I know how y'all go. Oh, and some of y'all, you find fault in everything. Stop it, right? I know it ain't fair, but it ain't fair. But come on now, we try to fix it, or we try to make a bigger problem. Go where your husband is at. Find out what he is interested in, and show up. Okay, show up. Where is he at? So that's what you want to find yourself, right? I love spending time with him, but he's not on the same page. What does his spending time mean, right? Because his spending time may not mean go to a fancy restaurant, right? Someone say life is not fair. Listen, I get to clear that. But when you get lemons, you make lemonade, okay? Right? So you might want to spend, go to a fancy restaurant. Your husband might not want to go to a fancy restaurant. That may not be his idea. You might want to go on a night of town. That he may not be interested in that. So find out what he is interested in and show up there. Okay. So, yes, I see. Someone's got to be humble. Somebody. Okay. Right. Show up where your husband want to be. Okay. Your husband, like my husband, let me tell you something. My husband used to like fishing. Okay. And I like fishing. But I like fishing in the Bahamas. Okay. I don't like fishing here in America. Fishing in the Bahamas, I know when I put my line out there, I know fish interested in it because I get a little indication that fish there, they see me. Here in America, y'all fish funny. Y'all fish prejudice. My line sitting out there. I ain't know you there. I out here 30 minutes. I can't do that. But my husband love it nonetheless. So guess what? I ain't interested in going fishing. I ain't putting my line out because I don't like my line being in the water 10, 15 minutes and no bite. I don't like that. But I sitting up in the chair relaxing, right? Watching him. I sometimes you could be a good spectator. Okay? Sometimes you could be a good spectator. You just gotta find something that works and not complain about what you ain't have. Because we're not always going to have a great scenario. And if there is a situation where there needs to be change, this is where again prayer, y'all, prayer. Okay? Prayer. I know y'all don't like me to say this word, but if you want change, if you want to be to a place where, let's say you always pulling up, to the football game, to the baseball game, but now, you want to go to the movies. Father, in the name of Jesus, I pray that one day, Lord, that my husband, his desires is to be to the movie. So you have to pray for things that you want to see. Come on, y'all, write that down. Pray for what you want to see. I don't know if I'm going to ever like not say that, okay? Because that's so key. Pray for what you want to see. You don't pray the problem, pray the solution. Pray what you want to see. Now the Bible says when you pray, believe, right? So you got to begin to see things. You got to begin to see your husband, you and your husband, going on vacations, going to the movies, going to take a stroll in the mall. I like to stroll in the mall, y'all. I like to just walk, go and dress up, go in the mall and walk. My husband don't like to do that. Okay, my husband, if he go in the mall, he want to buy something. I don't need to buy nothing. All I need to do is dress up and stroll. My husband don't like that. Okay, so I ain't gonna pray for him to like that, because that's torture. Some people's torture looking and they buy. So yeah, y'all, it is not good for a man to be alone, right? A helper, a helpmeet is more than just someone just supporting and just helping him. Oh, you need a helping hand. Okay, let me grab this for you. You bring in 3 bags and 2 left. Let me pick up the 2. No, it's more than that. It's companionship. And so a lot of the problem that we run into is that we didn't create a culture where we're always present, right? We started that in the dating phase, but we don't carry that into marriage. We let life get in the way, right? And if we let it, it's going to get in the way. That's why the Bible said we must be alert, right? Be alert, because the devil is like a roaring lion seeking who he may devour. And I know that many of you may be in a good place in your marriage, in your relationship, where you probably ain't even like, oh, I don't need that because I trust my husband. This is not a matter of trust. Okay? This is not a matter of trust. The Bible says the arms of flesh will fail. Okay? So you got to be in a place, in a position where you alert, and you ain't even giving no room to the enemy. Because hold on, we ain't spend no time in 24 hours, 48 hours. Is this a problem? Listen, if you don't recognize it's a problem today, it's gonna be a problem, and that time you're gonna find yourself fighting a bigger battle because you didn't nip this issue in the butt when it was a problem. Okay? Someone say, my husband controls the TV and activities. Well, right? This may be the case and this be the situation. So you just, be present in what he is being interested in. And when he is not, controlling the TV and the activities, then you do what you want to do. My husband controls the TV and the activities too. But there is a time when my husband is not around and I'm watching what he don't want to watch. During those times, he's not there. I ain't gonna be complaining, oh, I want to watch something and you want to watch something. No, I'm watching what you want to watch. Even if it's boring, even if it ain't my cup of tea, I gonna watch it. But when you see my time coming in around, I gonna watch what I want to watch, all right, to the fullest, to my belly full. I gonna watch my drama TV. I gonna watch it when he's not there. Okay, it is what it is. My husband likes to play video games, y'all. Anybody get any husband that likes to play video games? And let me tell you something. Sometimes, he be on the road all day and he just come with the remote. I in the middle of a movie. The middle of a movie. He want to wear the remote. I didn't complain. I say, here, it right here. And child, let me tell you something. When he get on the game, I pluck the movie on my phone. Thankfully, we at a different age now. Back in the day, these videos wasn't on your phone. It was a TV or nothing. But thankfully, technology done upgrade us. So whilst he's busy playing, what he's playing, I got my earphone in and I get what I watch it on my phone or on my iPad. I ain't complaining. Yes, see, you gotta, I saw someone said, marriage is about compromise, right? Now, I don't know if I agree that marriage is about compromise, right? But I do believe that in marriage, you have to learn how to compromise, okay? Because it's a give and take. Because we are, separate individuals, right? We were brought up different families. Our family dynamics are different. So our interest is going to be different. So what we got to do, we got to learn each other's interests, right? I've learned some things that my husband are interested in just because he's interested in it. Right? For example, like the poker situation. I listen, I'm a good poker player. Right? My husband just asked me, honey, why you still playing poker? Too stressful. Too stressful. Mind you, I'm over his shoulder, right? While he's playing. Don't do that. Don't do Let me tell y'all something. As a matter of fact, my husband said, my husband won a couple of tournaments, and my husband said he won because he could hear me, you know, telling him, don't do that, don't do this. And so, I was in his head, even though I wasn't in his head. Right? Someone say, yes, I will watch the NBA. Listen here, I watch the NBA because my husband watched the NBA. That's why. How do we address secular music and worship music? My husband can't stand worship, and I give up worldly music when I came to Christ. Well, here's the thing, right? Okay, so my husband, even though my husband is saved, he's still there's still some secular music that he likes, right? And I wouldn't, you know, I'm not going to just if I'm having my intimate moment, I ain't gonna put on this music. But if he did, he listened to it fine. We have to be in a position where we're so strong in our faith that let me see how I can say this because I know y'all. I know how y'all go. Y'all so religious. Y'all be in setting the mood and putting on worship music. I just think that you have to come to a place to realize that all secular music isn't a problem. Okay. And if he has on his secular music, let him play his secular music. There was a time, not now, but there was a time, right, that like when I get in the car, I want to put on, my worship music. My husband would change it, right? I would put on, he get in the car and he get on worship. I get on worship music. He would change it. Now, I'm also, when he get on his music, I get in the car. I don't change it. I just let it play, right? I'm not influenced by a moment of listening to secular music. I'm not influenced. But here is the thing. Because when he get in my space, I have on my gospel music. If he change it, I will be okay with him changing it. But if he don't change it, I will let it play. So you have to get to a place where if your husband want to play secular music, you got to be okay. I mean, if you want blasted in the house, be okay with it. You have to be secured in your spiritual position where you're not worried about hearing a moment of secular music. Okay? You ain't gonna get unsaved. Come on now. You ain't gonna get unsaved on the moment you listening to it. Am I making sense? Okay? Am I making sense? My husband loves secular music. My children love secular music. I don't tell my children they can't listen to it. I just guide them on, hey, there are certain things you got to be careful of, but here is why. I help them to understand that this music is speaking into your subconscious mind. And this is training your brain. So if you're listening to a certain set of music, it is training your brain. Is this what you want to be about? The killing and the murdering and the fornicating and all that stuff? But I help them to understand this so that they can choose wisely. Okay? So that they can choose wisely. My 9-year-old listens to secular music. I'm not tripping, even though, he says he's a Christian. My 9-year-old says he's a Christian, which is fine. He knows I'm a Christian. I'm not going to play it. He's not going to catch me, not that it is, listen, you don't go to hell, so my son, they're not going to catch me putting it on, right? Then, I ain't like, put it on. But anyhow, so let me get back on track, right? So now when we jump in a car, if my husband have secular music playing, guess what he does now? He changes it. Or he said, honey, I'm not a music person. I don't really care about music like that. Okay? I don't really care about music. I don't really care about gospel or secular music, right? I'm just not a music person. But I do listen to gospel. All right. Now, some people, they have to listen to music and they want to, that just ain't me. Okay. But my husband will either put it on, right? Or he would say, hey, because he know that I'm not a, thy music person. I just ain't a secular music person. And he'd ask me, hey, you want to change it? Hook up your phone so you can put the music on. Okay. Okay, so somebody say movies are full of drugs, murder, violence. Child, I still let's watch them. I still, even though the movies are full of drugs, murder, and violence, I still watch them to an extent. I think it's just being guided by the Holy Spirit. I can't sit down and watch a lot of it. Okay, I start to get a headache, right? But sometimes, my husband wants to watch a particular movie, and it has a lot of guns, violence, cursing in it. We watch it together, right? See, you gotta be secured. You gotta be anchored in your, what we call it, what we say, spirituality. You got to be anchored. Some people so like I don't know what to say about that. But anyhow, yeah. So, but though, my husband ain't sit down. Horror is just a no for me. Horror is just a absolute no for me. And this is again a standard that I have set, right? I tell my husband I don't want to listen to horror. It's just that if he put a horror on, I would probably get up and leave the room, or or do the movie playing. I'm still on the side of him, but I'm probably in my phone or doing something else, right? But now, because of that, my husband won't even watch horror, right? Someone say it's a no for me. It's an absolute no for me. I just don't do horror movies, no scary movies. Okay, it is not good for a man to be alone. So listen here, you guys, ladies out there, do your best to be a companion. Yeah, we get the helper down pat, keeping the house and all that stuff. We get the down pat. Your husband is companionship. Yeah, you don't work 9 to 5 and you tired. You don't give that time to your job. Okay, the thing about us wives, we wear many hats. Okay, we wear many hats. We got to be the nurse, we got to be the doctor, we got to be the dentist, we got to be the cook, we got to be the housekeeper, we got to be all these things. You can't give all of your energy and time to your job, and then you ain't no juice for your husband. You ain't no juice for your children. This is why we have a lot of public success and private failure. You have people elevating in the corporate world, and then, yeah, you making all this money, but you ain't got no juice for your husband, and you ain't got no juice for your children. Let me tell you something, right? And our time is always up. I gotta head out, right? Let me tell you something. I have learned that a lot of things are in our minds. So if you at work, you don't have a long day at work, and you already tell yourself, "Oh, I'm tired. When I go home, I gonna rest." When you get home and ain't no rest, and you get frustrated. When you don't tell yourself you going home to rest because you tired, you gotta kick into second gear. First gear, I'm finished for the day. That's at 9 to 5. Second gear, when you get home, you gotta do whatever you need to do for your children, your house. Third gear is your husband. Fourth gear is when I done finished dealing with my husband, and then 10 time to rest. See, if you already shut down in your mind, when you get home, you ain't get no juice. You won't go nowhere. Oh, I tired, right? Come on now. You got work time. That's a set of energy. You get the kids' time. That's a set of energy. You get your home time. That's a set of energy. And you get your husband time. That's a set of energy. Now, if you only know how to cultivate all these energies, you got to learn. Let me tell you something. You know how much times I go on places and I tired? I just go places tired. Cause why? I done give all the energy to coaching all day, and then I want to lay up and rest. And my husband talk, but he want to go somewhere. Okay, let's go. Come on now. We get back in gear. Y'all know how the stick shift go? Famous words, tired. Yes. Listen here. You know what you gotta do is we gotta stop saying I am tired. I tired. Let me tell you something. This is the last thing, and I go on. It's hour up. Y'all listen here. Thank y'all for rocking with me this week. We did not come out on Tuesday because I was out of town, but we back and we're gonna be back next week. But let me tell you all this, right? So I had this coaching client, right? I was trying to encourage her to get up a little bit earlier in the morning so she could give some time to fellowship with God, right? Like give God some more time. Some of y'all be like 15 minutes and y'all spend time with God. And y'all want God, like, pod the rock and the Red Sea for y'all, but you don't want to give 15 minutes time. Anyhow, that ain't the topic, right? So she said, Motaria, so every time you wake up in the morning, she said she's a morning person, but she said every time she look outside, she says she tired, right? She said, I don't know what happens. Every time I wake up early, I look outside, I say me tired. And I say me tired. I say, how about try this? Stop saying you're tired. Don't look outside and say you're tired, right? Just think about now. It's time for you to get ready for the day. And let me tell you something. She said, Meldoria, it worked. She said, me don't know where me get the energy from. This Jamaican, right? She know where to get energy from. She said, but she been waking up 6 o'clock in the morning, spend time with God. And she said she still have the full day because why? She didn't tell herself she was tired. So guess what? When she wake up, her body think it's time to go, right? What you say, and this is again, I know we have said this. We talk about the power of our words, and we say that, but we still actually don't know the power of our words, right? I am tired. What are you telling your mind? What signal, what indication have you sent out in your mind? You have told your mind that I am tired, right? And your mind has sent, all the energy waves throughout the body and say, oh, she said she's tired, y'all. Toes, you're tired. Knees, you're tired. Legs, you're tired. Fingers, you're tired, right? So this is why we have to be so careful what we say, right? It's like, okay, y'all ever get a paper cut? You get a paper cut and you don't know where you get that paper cut from. You might have had that paper cut all day. But the minute you see that cut on your finger, all of a sudden it hurt. From the moment you see that, then all of a sudden it keep hurting. Y'all ever had that situation? That's the craziest thing. You got a cut that could have been there for the whole day. The minute you see that, you don't even know where you get that from. But because you see that now, your signal, there was a signal that was sent to your brain to say, "Hey, she got cut." And what the brain is going to do? The brain is going to send a signal and say there's pain. And now you feel the pain of this cut you done had for 10 hours. Anyways, you guys, listen here. Thank you all for joining me today. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, I appreciate you hopping on. This is Let's Talk with Meltoria. That's me. We're going to be back again next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Remember, y'all, if you all have a conversation, if you all have a topic that y'all want us to discuss, make sure let me know so we can bring that here. This is a conversation with wives. So we a bunch of wives. We talking, we having conversation. And so listen here, wise counsel, y'all. This way you get wise counsel from a wife to a wife. So make sure y'all keep tuning. If y'all joining me on YouTube, when y'all finish from this video, go ahead and, just click a thumbs up. This is going to tell YouTube that, hey, this video was good, y'all. Send this out to more wives. And for those of you who are joining me on Facebook, just share. Share this with somebody. You have somebody on your timeline. This could save a marriage, This could save a marriage because there's somebody out there that has just got married and they were companions and all of a sudden, right, they start growing apart. We're going to save a marriage. And for us who now we know better, we're going to be doing better. So thank you all for joining me today. Blessings. Have an awesome day. For those of you who are in need of help and coaching, go to my website, www.empoweringwise.com, and schedule a consult. If you're interested in coaching and you say, Maltari, I need some help. I need some help getting my life together. Go and schedule a consultation. If you're a person saying, "Hey, Meltori, I have this little issue that I'm dealing with and I need you to help me with that," then go ahead and schedule a consult so you get some advice, right? Some advice. Anyhow, you guys, thank you all for joining me today. Have an awesome week, y'all. And I'll see y'all next week, Monday at the same time. See y'all.